All right, everybody, it's a couple hours before the show. First and only showcase that we're having. Can't wait. See you after the show.
Hello. I've got very important celebrity things to do.
Hey man, how you feeling about?
So good.
Yeah.
Just do it! You know what I'm saying? No.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow.
Any blacks?
I had it late for time.
I think my favorite my test.
Did you watch the video? What video?
See, that was before the show. How you feeling?
The voices,
Hey,
man.
Rick?
The voices.
Richard?
I guess that answers that question. They're out there. They're everywhere.
I want to be.
This is something that I personally have just loved doing with these students in particular this summer. They have truly exercised parts of themselves I don't think that they intended to, and I had them sweating and learning verse and all the wonderful things that go along with Shakespeare. So I don't want to say too much. Thank y'all so much for coming, and also after the show you can say hi to your friends and everything, and then we're actually continuing class, and we will have a little post-mortem, so you can maybe meet up with them later. Because this is class, this is part of it. Did I say my name? I'm Megan Harritine. And thank you especially to faculty and staff that made their way out here. That's why we are starting. I apologize for starting a little bit later, but even our first, had only one other rehearsal here, and it was difficult for some students to find, and so hence the balloons. Did that help? Yeah. Okay. So great. I hope y'all enjoy yourselves and just allow yourselves to be taken on a journey with these students. So thank you.
A kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and monarchs to behold the swelling scene.
And should the warlike Harry, like himself, assume the port of Mars?
And yet his heels leashen like hounds.
Crowds for employment. But pardon, sorry, and gentles all, that the flat, unraised spirits who have dared on this unworthy scaffold to bring forth so great an object. Can this cockpit hold the vasty fields of France?
Or can we cram within this wooden O the very casks that did affright the air of Agincourt?
Oh, pardon. Since a crooked figure may attest in a little place a million, let us, ciphers, to this great account on your imaginary forces work.
Suppose within the girdle of these walls are now confined two mighty monarchies, whose high upreared and abutting fronts the perilous ocean partless.
Piece out our imperfections with your thoughts, and into 1,000 parts divide on man, and make imaginary puissance. Think when we talk
talk of horses, that you see them printing their proud hooves in the receiving earth.
Was it your thoughts that now must deck our kings?
Carry them here and there,
Jumping or times?
turning the accomplishment of many years into an hourglass.
Supply, admit me.
Chorus!
To this history.
Who prologue like your humble patience pray. Gently to hear, kindly to judge our play.
The speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you trippingly on the tongue.
But if you mouth it as our players do, I had his leave, the town crier spoke my lines.
Nor do not saw the air too much with your hand thus, but use all gently. For in the very torrent, tempest, and as I may say, whirlwind of your passions, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness.
Oh, it offends me to the soul to see a robustious and periwigged fellow tear a passion to tatters, to very rags, to split the atom of a molecule.
I would have such a fellow whipped for overdoing Termagant. And out Herod's Herod! Pray you avoid it.
Ah, be not too tame neither, but let our own discretion be
Suit the action to the word, and the word to the action, with the special observance that you o'erstep not the modesty of nature, for anything so overdone is from the purpose of playing.
whose end, at the first end now, was and is to hold as 'twere the mirror up to nature.
To give virtue her own feature,
Scorn her own image.
and the very age and body of time his form and pressure.
Now come tardy off, or so overdone cannot make but the unskillful laugh or the judicious grieve.
Oh, there have been players that I have seen play, and heard others praise, that frankly, not to speak profanely, neither having the accent of Christians, nor the gait of Christian, pagan, nor man, they so strutted and bellowed, that I have thought some of nature's journeymen had made men, and not made them well. They imitated humanity so abominably. Oh, reform it!
Reform it!
Reform it.
Reform it!
Reform it all
together! Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention.
A kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and monarchs to behold the swelling sea.
And should the warlike Harry, like himself, assume the port of Mars?
And at his heels, leashed in like hounds, should famine, sword, and fire crouch for employment.
But pardon and gentles all, that the flat unraised spirits who have dared on this unworthy scaffold to bring forth so great an object, can this cockpit hold the vasty fields of France?
Or can we cram within this wooden O the very casks that did affright the air of Agincourt?
Oh, pardon, since a crooked figure may attest in little place a million, let us, ciphers, to this great account, on your imaginary forces work.
Suppose within the girdle of these walls are now confined two mighty monarchies, whose high upreared and abutting fronts the perilous ocean parts asunder.
Piece out our imperfections with your thoughts, and into 1,000 parts divide on man, and make imaginary puissance.
Think, when we talk of horses, that you see them, printing their proud hooves at the receiving earth.
For 'tis your thoughts that now must deck our kings.
Carry them here and there,
Jumping o'er times.
turning the accomplishment of many years into an hourglass.
For the which supply, admit me,
Chorus.
to this history.
Who prologue like, your humble patience pray.
Gently to hear, kindly to judge
Our play.
merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time may play many parts. Zach's being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewing and puking in the nurse's arms. And then the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, creaking like snail on the way to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with the woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. And then the soldier, full of strange oaths, and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden, quick, and quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth. Then the justice. Oh, and fair round belly with good capon line, with eyes severe and beard of formal cuts, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into a lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and couch on side, his useful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shape, and his big manly voice, leaning again for childish travel, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, that ends this strange and eventful history. His second childishness and mere oblivion. Sense teeth, sense eyes, sense taste, sense everything.
When my love swears she's made of truth, I do believe her, though I know she lies. And she think me some untutored youth, unschooled in the world's false subtleties, thus vainly thinking she thinks me young, although she knows my days are past the best. Simply I credit her false-speaking tongue. On both sides thus a simple truth suppressed. Wherefore says she not, she is unjust. Wherefore say not I, that I am old. All love's best habit is in seeming trust. And age in love loves not to have years told. Therefore I lie with her, and she with me, and in our faults by lies, we flattered thee.
This island is mine, by Sycorax, my mother, which thou hast takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me, and madest much of me. Must give me water where there is it, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less that burn by day and night. And then I love thee, and show thee all the qualities of the island, the fresh springs, the brine pits, the barren land, and the fertile. Curse be I that did so! All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you! For I am all the subjects that you have, which once was mine own king! And here you stymie in this hard rock, whilst you do keep me from the rest of the island!
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh God, God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on't! Fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this? but 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was, to this Hyperion, to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not be teen the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember? Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on. And yet within a month, let me not think on't. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month ere yet those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body, like Niobe, all tears. Why, she, even she, the beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month ere yet the salt of her most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married. Almost wicked speed, opposed with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor cannot come too good. But break my heart, or I must hold my tongue.
Is there no way for men to be, but women must be half-workers? We are all bastards. And that most venerable man, which I did call my father, was, I know not where when I was stabbed. Some coiner with his tools made me a counterfeit. Yet my mother seemed to die at the time. So doth my wife. Oh, vengeance! Vengeance! Me of my lawful pleasure, she restrained, prayed thee oft forbearance, did it with a pudency so rosy, the sweet aunt may have warmed old Saturn, that I thought she as chaste as the unsunned snow. Oh, devils! This yellow Giacomo in an hour, or sooner, 'twas not. At first, perchance, he did not speak. And then, like a full acorn boar, a German one, cried, oh, and mounted, found no opposition, when that which he looked should indeed oppose, and from encounter guard. Can I not find this woman's part in me? For there is no motion that tends to vice in man, but I affirm it is the woman's part. Be it lied, note it. The woman's flattering, hers. Deceiving, hers. Lust and rank thoughts, hers. Hers. Revengers, hers. Ambitions, covetings, changes and prides, nice long slanders, mutability, all that may be named, nay, that hell knows, why hers in part or all, but rather all. For even to vice they are not constant, but changing still. One vice for a minute old, for another not half so old as that. I'll speak against them, detest them, curse them. But 'tis with greater skill and a true hate. To pray they have their will. The very devils cannot plague them better.
Since what I am to say must be but that which contradicts my accusation, and the testimony on my part no other but what comes from myself, it shall scarce boot me to say not guilty. Mine integrity being counted falsehood shall, as I express it, be so received. But thus, if powers divine behold our human actions as they do, I doubt not then but innocence shall make false accusation blush, and tyranny tremble at patience. You, my lord, best know, who least will seem to do so, that my past life have been as continent, as chaste, as true as I am now unhappy, which is more than history can pattern, though devised and played to take spectators. For behold me, a fellow of the royal bed, which owe a moiety to the throne of a great king's daughter, the mother to a hopeful prince, here standing to prate and talk for life and honor for who please to come in here. For life, I prize it as I weigh grief, which I would spare. For honor, 'tis a derivative from me to mine, and only that I stand for. Let me appeal to your own conscience, sir. Before Polixenes came to court, how I was in your grace, how merited to be so. But since he came, with what encounter so uncurrent, I have strained to appear thus. If one jot be on the bound of honor in that act or will that way inclining, hardened be the hearts of all that hear me, and my nearest akin cry fie upon my grave.
Studied torments tyrant cast for me. What wheels, racks, fires, what flame boiling in leads or oils? What old or newer torture must I receive, whose every word deserves to taste of thy most worst? Thy tyranny, together working with thy jealousies, fancies too weak for boys, too green and idle for girls of night. Think what they have done. Then run mad, indeed stark mad, for all thy bygone fooleries were but spices of it. That thou betrayedst Polixenes, 'twas nothing that did but show thee of a fool, inconstant and damnable and grateful, nor wast much thou wouldst have poisoned good Camillo's honor. To have him kill a king, poor trespasses yet more monstrous standing by, whereof I reckon the casting forth to crows thy baby daughter. Be or none or little, though a devil would have shed water out of fire ere done it. Nor is strictly laid to thee the death of the young prince, whose honorable thoughts high for one so tender, cleft the heart that could conceive a gross and foolish sire, blemished his gracious dam. This is not but the last. O lords, when I have said, cry woe the queen, sweetest, dearest creature's dead, and vengeance for it's not dropped down yet. Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, toward Phoebus' lodging. Such a wagoner as Phaeton would whip you to the west and bring in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy close curtain, love-performing night, that runaway's eyes may wink, and Romeo leap to these arms, untalked of and unseen. Lovers can see to do their amorous rites by their own beauties, or, if love be blind, it best agrees with night. Come, civil knight, thou sober-suited matron all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match. Played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods, oh, hood my unmanned blood, bathing in my cheeks with thy black mantle. Till strange love grow bold, think true love acted simple modesty. Come, night, come, Romeo, come thou day and night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow on a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, thy loving black-browed night, give me my Romeo, and when he shall die,
Take him and cut him out in little stars. And he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I have bought the mansion of a love, but not possessed it. And though I am sold, not yet enjoyed. So tedious is this day, as is the night before some festival to an impatient child that hath new robes, but may not wear them.
'Tis torture, and not mercy. Heaven is here, where Juliet lives. Every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing may live here in heaven and may look on her, but Romeo may not. More validity, more honorable state, more courtship lives in carrion flies than Romeo. They may seize upon the white wonder of dear Juliet's hand, and steal immortal blessings from her lips, who, even in pure and bestial modesty, still blush, seeking their own kisses sin. But Romeo may not. He is banished. Flies may do this, but I from this must fly. They are free men, but I am banished. And sayest thou yet that exile is not death? Hadst thou no poison mixed, no sharp-browed knife, no sudden mean of death, or ne'er so mean, but banished? To kill me, banished? Oh, friar, the damned use thou word in hell, howling intends it. And how hast thou the heart, being a divine, a ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, and my friend professed to mingle me with that word, banished? Here she come. Now, Trujillo speak. Good morrow, Kate. For that's your name, I hear.
Well, have you heard? But something hard of hearing, they call me Catherine, that do speak of me.
You lie in faith, for they call you plain Kate, and bonny Kate, and even Kate the Cursed. But Kate, the prettiest Kate in Christendom, Kate Hall, my super dainty Kate. For dainties are all Kates. But therefore, Kate, take this of me, Kate of my consolation. Hearing thy mildest praise in every town, thy virtues spoke of, thy beauty sounded, yet not so deeply as to thee belongs. Myself am moved to woo thee for my wife.
Moved? Oh, in good time. Let him that moved you hither remove you hence. I knew you at the first you were immovable.
Why, what's immovable?
A joined stool.
Ah, thou hast hit it. Come, sit on me.
Asses are made to bear, and so are you.
Women are made to bear, and so are you.
No such jade as you with me, you mean.
Alas, good Kate, I will not burden thee, for knowing thee to be but young and light.
Too light for a swain as thee to catch, and yet as heavy as my weight should be.
Should buzz.
Well taken, and like a buzzard.
Oh, slow-winged turtle, shall a buzzard not take thee?
Aye, for a turtle as he takes a buzzard.
Come, you wasp. In faith, you are too angry.
If I be waspish, best beware my sting.
Ooh, my remedy is then to pluck it out.
Aye, if the fool can find where it lies.
Who knows not where a wasp does keep his sting? In his tail.
Aye, in his tongue.
Whose tongue?
Yours, if we speak of tails, and so farewell.
What? My tongue in your tail? Nay, I am a gentleman. not look askance, nor bite thy lip as angry wenches will, nor have the pleasure to be cross in talk, but use thy mildness to entertain thy wooers, with gentle comfort, soft and affable. Why does the world report that Kate doth limp? Oh, slanderous world! Kate is like the hazel twig. She's straight and slender, and soft and brown in hue as the hazelnuts, and sweeter than the kernels. Oh, let me see thee walk! Thou dost not halt.
Go, fool, in whom thou keepst command.
Thou should marry no man but me, for I am he, and born to tame you, Kate, and take you from a wild Kate to a Kate conformable of other household Kates. I must and will have Catherine for my wife.
Sweet moon! Sweet moon! Sweet moon, I thank thee for the sunny beams. I thank thee, moon, for shining new so bright. For thy gracious golden glittering gleams, I trust to taste of trusty Thisbe's sight. But stay, O spirit, but mock poor night. What doubtful dog is here? What doubtful dog is here? Eyes do see, how can it be? Oh, dainty duck, oh dear, that thy mantle good, but stained with blood. Approach, the Furies fall. Oh, fates come, cut thread and thrum. Wonderful nature, dost thou lions form? For lion vile hith have here deflowered my dear. That lived, that loved, that liked, that looked with cheer. Come, tears confound, out sword and wound, thy path of promise. I left you path, which heart thou thus died I. Thus. Now am I dead. I fell. My soul is in the sky. Tongue less than light. Moon, take thy flight. Die! 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 Die!
To whom should I complain? Did I tell us who would believe me? Perilous mouths that bear in them one and the self-same tongue, either of condemnation or of proof, bidding the law make curtsy to their will, hooking both right and wrong to the appetite to follow as it draws. I'll to my brother, though he hath fallen by prompture of the blood. And yet, hath he in him such a mind of honor that had he 20 heads to tinder down on 20 bloody blocks, he'd yield them up before his sister should her body stoop to such abhorred pollution. Then Isabel lived chaste, and brother died. More than our brother is our chastity. I'll tell him yet of Angelo's request, and fit his mind to death for his soul's rest.
Die, but to die, and go we know not where, to lie in cold obstruction and to rot, this sensible warm motion to become a kneaded clod, and the delighted spirit to bathe in fiery floods, or to reside in thrilling region of thick-ribbed ice, to be imprisoned in the viewless winds and blown with restless violence round about the pendant world, or to be worse than worst of those that lawless and in certain thought imagine howling, "'Tis too horrible!" The weariest and most loathed worldly life that age, ache, penury, and imprisonment can lay on nature is a paradise to what we fear of death.
Alas, alas.
Sweet sister, let me live. What sin you do to save a brother's life, nature dispenses with the deed so far that it becomes a virtue.
Away, I beseech you both away. I will board him presently. Grant me leave. How does my good lord?
Well, God of mercy.
You know me, my lord.
Excellent well, sir. You are a fishmonger.
Aye, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
Aye, sir. To be honest as this world goes is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
It's very true, my lord.
For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog to be a good kissing carrion, have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Oh, let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing. But, as your daughter may conceive, friend, look to't.
How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter. Yet he knew me not at first. He said I was a fishmonger. He is far gone. And truly in my youth, I suffered much extremity for love very near this. I will speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words, words. Oh, words.
What's the matter, my lord?
Between who?
The matter you read, my lord.
Oh, slander, sir. For the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards. that their faces are wrinkled, that their eyes are purging thick amber and plum-tree gum, and that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hams. All which, sir, though I most powerfully and potently believe, I hold it not honesty to have it thus set down. For you yourself, sir, could grow as old as I am, if like a crab walk backward.
Now this be madness, yet there be method in it. Will you walk out of here, my lord?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that's out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. A happiness that often madness hits on, which reason and sanity could not so prosperously deliver of. I will leave him, and some may contrive the means of meeting between me and him and my daughter. My lord, I grant you my leave.
You cannot grant me, sir, anything that I am not more willing to accept. Accept my life. Accept my life. Accept my life.
Fare you well, my lord.
These tedious old fools.
Being your slave. What should I do but tend upon the hours and times of your desire? I have no precious time at all to spend, nor services to do till you require. Nor dare I chide the world without an hour, whilst I, my sovereign, watch the clock for you. Nor think the bitterness of absence sour when you have bid your servant once adieu. Nor dare I question with my jealous thought where you may be, or your affairs suppose. But, like a sad slave, stay and think of naught, save where you are, how happy you make those. So true a fool is love that's in your will, though you do anything, he thinks no ill.
Soft you now, fair Ophelia. Nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well, well, well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed to re-deliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did. And with them words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these again. For to the noble mind, rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord?
Be you fair?
What means your lordship?
That if you are honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty.
I did love you once.
Indeed, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent, honest, yet I could accuse myself of such things. It were better my mother had not borne me. Wretched fellows as I do, crawling between earth and heaven. We are errant knaves, us all. Believe us not. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where's your father?
Lord.
Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell.
Oh, help him, you sweet heavens.
If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. Thou shalt not escape calumny. Go to a nunnery, farewell. Or if thou wilt needs marry a fool, for wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery go, and quickly too, farewell.
Oh, help him, you sweet heavens.
I've heard of your paintings too, well enough. God has given you one face, and you make yourselves another. You jig and you amble, you lisp, you nickname God's creatures, and you make your wantonness your ignorance. Well, go to. I'll have no more of it. It hath made me mad. I say, no more marriages. All those that are married already, all but one shall live, and the rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery go.
What a noble mind is here overthrown. Courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword. The expectancy of rose of fair state. The glass of fashion and the mold of form, he observed with all observers quite down. The eye of ladies most dejected and wretched. And sucked the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason like sweet bells jingle, out of tune and harsh. That unmatched form and feature of blown youth blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me to have seen what I have seen. See what I see.
Now must your conscience lack what it see, and you must put me in your heart for friend. See if you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he who hath your noble father slain pursue my life.
It well appears, and so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms, whose worth, if praises may go back again, stood challenging on mount of all the age of her perfections. But my revenge will come.
Laertes, was your father dear to you? Or are you the painting of a soul, a face without heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think you did not love your father. Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself your father's son in deeds, more than words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuaries. Revenge should have no bounds. But Laertes, will you do this? Stay close within your chamber. Hamlet return shall know you are come home. We'll put on these, shall praise your excellence, bring you in fine together, and wager on your heads. He, being remiss, most generous, and free from all contriving, will not peruse the form, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in an act of practice, requite him for your part.
I will do it, and for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction at a mountain, so mortal that but dip a knife in it where it draws blood. No cataplasm so rare, collected from all the simples that have virtue under the moon, can save the thing from death. That is but scratched upon. I'll anoint my tip with this contagion, that if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this. If this should fail, a hat, where in your motion you are hot and dry,
as make your bouts more violent to this end, and then he calls for a drink. I'll have prepared a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if by chance he escape your venom stuck, our purpose hold there. How now, sweet queen?
One wound doth tread upon another's heels. So fast they follow. Your sisters drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Where?
There is a willow grows aslant a brook. Shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There fantastic garlands did she make of crow flowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples. That little shepherds do give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. They are repentant vows for cornet weeds clambering to hang. An envious sliver broke when down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide and mermaid-like, while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes like one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be till her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, she's drowned.
Drowned. Drowned.
Too much water hast thou, poor Ophelia. I forbid these tears, yet it is our trick. Nature her custom holds. Let shame say what it will. When these are out, the woman will be gone. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech of fire that fain would place, but this folly doubts it. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now till this will give it rise again. We must follow.
O call not me to justify the wrong that thy unkindness lays upon my heart. Woo me not with thine eye, but with thy tongue. Use power with power, and slay me not by art. Tell me thou lovest elsewhere, but in my sight. Let me excuse thee. Ah, my love well knows, her pretty looks have always been mine enemies. Therefore from my face she turns my foes, so that they elsewhere might doff their injuries. But do not so. Well, since I am near slain, kill me outright with looks, and rid me of my pain.
How happy some or other some can be. Through Athens I'm thought as fair as she. But what of that? Demetrius thinks not so. He will not know what all but he do know. And as he errs, doting on Hermia's eyes, so I, admiring of his qualities, things base and vile, holding no quantity. Love can transpose to form and dignity. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore is when Cupid painted blind. Nor hath love mind of any judgment taste. Wings and no eyes figure unheeding haste, and therefore is love said to be a child, because in choice he is so oft beguiled, as waggish boys in games themselves forswear. So the boy love is perjured everywhere. For Demetrius looked on Hermia's eye, he hailed that oath that he was only mine, and with this hail some heat from Hermia felt. So he dissolved, and showers of oaths did melt. I will go tell him of fair Hermia's flight, then to the woods will he tomorrow night pursue her, and for this intelligence, if I have thanks, it is a dear expense. But herein me nigh to enrich my pain, to have his sight thither and back again.
Why should you think that I should woo and scorn? Scorn and derision never come in tears. Look, when I vow, I weep. And vows so born, in their nativity, all truth appears.
You do advance your cunning more and more. When truth kills truth, oh, devilish holy freight. These vows are Hermia. Will you give her o'er? Weigh oath with oath, and you will nothing weigh.
Demetrius loves Hermia, and he loves you not. Helena? Oh, goddess, nymph, perfect divine. To what my love shall I compare thine eye? Crystal is muddy. Oh, how ripened show thy lips! Those kissing cherries tempting grow. That pure congealed white, high Taurus snow, fanned in the eastern wind, turns to a crow when thou holdst up thy hand. Oh, let me kiss this princess of pure light, this seal of bliss.
Oh, fight! Oh, help! I see you all are bent set against me for your merriment. And you were civil, and you courtesy. You would not do me thus much injury. Oh, can you not hate me, as I know you do, but must join in souls to mock me too?
You are unkind, Demetrius. Be not so, for you love Hermia. This you know I know, and here, in all good will, in all good heart, in Hermia's love, I yield you up my part. Lysander, keep thy Hermia. I will none. If I ever loved her, all that love is gone. My heart to her but as, guess why sojourn. And now to Helen. Is it home return? There to remain. Helen, it is not so. This better not the fate thou Let's not peril thou abide, dear. Look where thy love comes, yonder is thy dear.
Thou wert not by mine eye, Lysander found. Mine ear, I think, it brought me to thy sound, but why unkindly didst thou leave me so?
Why should he stay for whom love doth first to go?
What love could press Lysander from my side?
Lysander's love, that would not let him by.
You speak then as you think, this cannot be.
Lo, she is one of this confederacy. Oh, now I perceive they have conjoined all three to fashion this false sport, in spite of me. Injurious Hermia, most ungrateful maid, have you conspired? Have you with these contrived to bait me with this foul derision?
I am amazed at your passionate words, and I scorn you not. It seems that you scorn me.
Have you not set Lysander as in scorn to follow me and praise my eyes and face? Ugh! Who made your other love, Demetrius, who even but now did spurn me with his foot, to call me nymph, goddess, divine, and
I understand not what you mean by this.
I do. For sever counterfeit sad looks, make mouths upon me when I turn my back. Wink at each other, hold thy sweet jest up. This sport well carried shall be chronicled. But fare ye well, 'tis partly my own fault, which death or absence soon shall remedy.
Stay, Helena. Please hear my excuse. My love, my life, so fair Helena.
Oh,
Sweet,
excellent.
do not scorn her so.
If she cannot entreat, I can compel. Thou canst compel no more than she entreat. Helen, I love thee. By my life I do. I say I love thee more than he can do. If thou say so, withdraw and prove it too.
Lysander, where to tense all this?
Hang off, thou cat, thou bird. Vile thing, let loose or I shall shake thee from me like a serpent.
Why have you grown so rude? What changes this sweet love?
Thy love? Out, tawny Tartar, out, out, loathed medicine. Oh, hated potion, hence.
Do you not jest?
Yes, sooth, and so do you.
Demetrius, I will keep my word with you. I would I had your bond, for perceive a weak bond holds you. I'll not trust your word. What, should I hurt her? Kill her? Strike her dead? Although I hate her, I'll not harm her so.
What could you do me greater harm than hate? Hate me? Wherefore? Oh, what news? My love, am I not Hermia? Are you not Lysander? I am as fair now as I was erewhile.
and never did desire to see thee more. Therefore, be out of hope, of question, of doubt. Be certain 'tis nothing truer, no jest, that I do hate thee and love Helen.
You jumping, you caper blossom, you thief of love, what have you? Come by night and stolen my love's heart from him?
Have you no modesty, no maiden shame, no touch of bashfulness? What will you tear impatient answers from my gentle tongue? By you counterfeit, you puppet you!
Puppet! How so? Aye, that way goes the game. Now I perceive. She hath made compare between our statures. But she hath urged her height, and with her personage, her tall personage, her height, forsooth, she hath prevailed with him. And are you grown so high in his esteem, because I am so dwarfish and so low? How low am I, that painted maypole? Speak! How low am I? I am not yet so low, but that my nails could reach unto thy eye!
You want me, gentlemen, let me hurt me. Oh, you perhaps may think because she's more lower than myself that I can match.
Lower? Hark! Again!
Oh, when she's angry, she's mean and shrewd. She was a vixen when she was full, and though she be but little, she's fierce.
Little! Again, nothing but low and little. Why will you suffer her to flog me thus?
Get gone, you minimus, of hindering not grass made. You acorn!
You watchful fishes in her behalf that scorned your services. Let her alone. Speak not of her now. Take not her part.
Now she holds me not. Now follow, if thou darest, to try who's right, of thine or mine, is most in heaven.
Follow?
Nay!
I'll go. Sheep by jump.
Mistress! Oh, this coil is long of you! Nay, go not back!
I will not trust you, I, nor longer stay in your cursed company. Your hands and mine are quicker for a fray. My legs are longer, though, to run away!
I am amazed. And know not what to say.
Speak the speech, I pray you!
Thank you all so much for coming. If anybody has any, I guess you can ask me questions or you can do that individually.
All right, guys, we had a successful run. What do you guys have to say about it?
Thank God it's over.
Yes, I agree.
Many hours, much stress and practice, and thank God it's over. It's fun.
Go back and watch the beginning where I talk. I say, oh, how it offends me. Yeah, that split the molecule thing was improvised. Believe it or not. That's all I got to say.
It's called recovery.
So, we had a successful run, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. We totally had a success. Felt awesome. I think we did a good job, personally.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. You know, that's just me. My professional opinion. Professional.
I'm kind of regretting standing like this, but I mean,
it felt really good. Everyone is awesome, and I love working with everybody. And I was really close to crying on stage, but like I heard the audience sniffling, and so all like the tears sucked back up into my eyeballs. But either way, it felt really good. And this is probably terrible audience etiquette. If this isn't a banquet video, don't stand like this. I'm sorry. Okay, cool.
Of words and work by Shakespeare. Great performances, including the cameraman, Gus. Yeah, great job, everybody. Great job.
Lucas's joints move in such a way that no human's joints should. Right? Yeah. I swear to God, that man's made of rubber.
I don't know. I loved. My favorite part was all my friends. Y'all are awesome.
Yes. So this is the yin to my yang right here. I've had so much fun taking this class with Megan, taking Shakespeare class, learning how to perform Shakespeare instead of just reading it. It's been a blast. If I was given the chance, I'd do it all again. Yeah, and just thank you to Megan, I guess.